Get to the soapbox, please.
Now, Marc Cox, Soapbox.
All right. I've had some time now to digest these charges that have been leveled against Paul Manafort, and it's that time of the day when we need to talk about what this case is, and just as importantly, what this case isn't. I've printed off multiple pages of this 31-page indictment, and it's very important for us to point this out up front. Just being as honest as I can be about this. Whoever vetted Paul Manafort before he joined the Trump campaign needs to be named. We need to know who that individual is because he or she needs to be named and shamed. If, as this indictment claims, Paul Manafort has been under investigation by the FBI since 2005, he should never have been named to that post. Somebody knew it. And yet he was put in charge of the campaign for 2 months anyway. Bottom line, shouldn't have happened. Just say that up front. Now, let's talk about what this indictment is and what this indictment isn't. What it isn't is anything to do with Donald J. Trump. What it isn't is any proof of collusion on the part of the Trump campaign with officials from Russia. What it is the culmination of 8 or 9 years of FBI investigations into Paul Manafort and his associates and his involvement with the former president in Ukraine. In the Ukraine, not in Russia, in the Ukraine. What it is proof that Donald Trump was correct when he said that Trump Tower was wiretapped by the Obama administration. What it is proof that a special counsel without a stated purpose is a dangerous thing. Not a single one of these allegations that I've read through here are connected to the Donald J. Trump campaign. All of this happened years ago, which begs the question, why in the hell didn't the FBI charge him last year or the year before? Maybe the James Comey-run FBI held off on its investigation of Manafort after realizing that once he was appointed chairman of the Trump campaign, they could use the information to their advantage. Do you see that? To their advantage if Trump happened to win. Now, here's why I say that. Because it stretches the limits of credulity. To believe that James Comey, who ran the FBI, and Loretta Lynch and or Eric Holder, who were in charge of the Department of Justice back-to-back, had not informed President Barack Obama and possibly Hillary Clinton and John Podesta that Paul Manafort was under investigation for possible links to the Russians. Remember, the Clinton campaign, along with the DNC, spent nearly $8 million to find dirt on Donald Trump. Manafort's appointment as campaign chairman, well after that, handed them a golden opportunity. Remember what Barack Obama always said about Hillary Clinton, that there isn't anything she wouldn't say or do to win.
That was some weird shit.
I'm just saying.
It's what's wrong with politics today. Hillary Clinton will say anything to get elected.
And one more thing about what it is. It's further proof of the establishment attempt to overthrow this president. Here's the bottom line here. Whoever leaked this information, this grand jury information on Friday, needs to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. The information could only have come from a couple of sources. Either it came from the special prosecutor's office, which is a violation of the law, or it came from somebody in the courthouse or somebody on the grand jury itself. Release of that information is a violation of the law. Nobody should be more concerned about that than Robert Mueller. And if he's not, then you have your answer as to where it came from. If Bob Mueller is not concerned that the information came out on Friday, it must be because Bob Mueller wanted it to come out on Friday at the end of what was a very bad week for the Democrats. From Uranium One all the way down, from Fusion GPS all the way down, it was a bad, bad week for the Democrats. What is the easiest way to keep that bad week from being kicked around in the news cycle over the weekend and on the Sunday shows, but to leak this information Friday afternoon at 5 o'clock? That's exactly what happened here. You need to understand what this is all about. This is about Bob Mueller not finding any evidence of collusion against Donald Trump. So they took an investigation that's been going on for 8 or 9 years and whipped up charges. Remember, if they choose to, a prosecutor and a grand jury can indict a ham sandwich. I'm not saying Paul Manafort didn't do some of these things. He may be guilty as hell of it. But they've known about it for years and chose not to prosecute him. Why did they choose to prosecute him and release this information on Friday? It's all very simple. They're trying to put the screws to Paul Manafort to get him to give them something on Donald Trump because they haven't been able to find it anywhere else. Same with this Papadopoulos character who has also pleaded guilty to lying to the FBI. There's no allegation that Papadopoulos did anything wrong except lie to the FBI. Now, that's not a good thing. He broke the law. He's pleaded guilty to it. But they're not going to sentence him until they try to put the screws to him, too. This indictment is a sign of desperation on the part of the special prosecutor. If they had evidence of collusion, that's what you'd be hearing about today, not tax evasion charges on a man who was briefly the head of the campaign, and the charges go back 8 or 9 years, long before he had anything to do with Donald Trump.